The storm desk. Read the storm, book the roofs. The alert just buzzed your phone. Hail warning your market last night. Your reps are already texting, where do we knock? The cheap answer points at the whole polygon and turns every representative loose on it, and a week disappears. By the end of this, you'll know how to turn one storm alert into a ranked route list without knocking the whole street. The alert says a storm happened. It does not say which roofs it wore out, which homeowners want you, or whether you can knock. We fix all three first. Start by reading the alert for what it is. 3 tiers, and they are not the same proof. Tier 1 is the active warning. A severe thunderstorm warning is a polygon the National Weather Service draws when a storm produces hail 1 inch or larger or 58-mile-an-hour wind. That means a capable storm crossed an area, not that any single roof took a hit. Tier 2 is the preliminary report, a spotter's call, listed as is. Tier 3 is the official record, months later. A warning is a box for safety, not a sales map. Here's the trap most teams fall into first. They route a screenshot. A cropped radar image lands in the group chat, and somebody's already in the truck. That image has no source, no timestamp, no clock. A forecast is odds, not damage, and a screenshot isn't even a forecast. So label every signal before you trust it. The source name, the link, when the storm hit, and when you pulled it. No source, no route. Now drop the alert onto your streets. The warning covers a polygon. Your business covers blocks. So overlay them. Pull the warning box, the preliminary report dots, and where you can get it, the hail swath, the path of the largest stones. Hail does not fall like rain. It falls in a swath with a heavy core and light edges, so 2 streets a mile apart inside the same box take very different beatings. Your priority ground is where the core overlaps roofs you can reach. 2 checks come before ranking, and skipping them is how good routes go bad. First, the safety hold. Active weather is a hazard, not an opportunity, so nobody routes into a live warning. After it passes, you still have downed lines, flooded roads, and slick roofs. OSHA lays out the roof work hazards plainly: falls, ladders, broken decking, power lines, so field movement waits until the roofs are stable. Second, the compliance check. Many cities require a solicitation permit or per canvasser registration, set lawful hours, and keep no-knock lists. Confirm the local rule first. Now size the route to what you can actually serve. A hail core over a dense suburb lights up more interest than a mid-sized crew can ever reach. Knock 1,000 homes, inspect 40 roofs a week, produce 10, and you've built a backlog of angry homeowners. Count your inspectors, schedulers, and production slots this week, then size the daily route to that number. A tight list you serve well beats a giant list you abandon. The homeowner you ghosted leaves the review. Here's the move that turns the box into a route. You rank. The right first street is the overlap of 4 things, and the loud radar cell is not at the top. Strongest signal, an inbound homeowner who already called. Next, a past customer or an old estimate, a warm door with a known roof. Then, roof age, older roofs rank up. Then, position in the heavy swath. Radar tells you where to look, not which roof was already at the end of its life. 2 of those 4 you know before the storm hits. Why does age carry so much weight? Because the roof matters as much as the stone. Asphalt shingles are roughly 80% of U.S. homes, and they take hail differently depending on age. IBHS fires lab hailstones at real shingles, and a brittle end-of-life shingle bruises and cracks, where a fresh impact-rated shingle shrugs the same stone off. Older, architectural roofs commonly run 20 to 30 years, older 3-tab roofs more like 15 to 20. So the storm is one variable, and roof age is the other, the one you can estimate before anyone climbs. Your warmest doors in this storm aren't in the swath. They're in your own book. Every roofer is sitting on past estimates that never closed, and past installs whose roofs are now years older. A storm just crossed those addresses, and the homeowner already knows your name. Match that old book against 2 filters: which contacts sit inside the storm footprint, and which roofs are now old enough to be due. Work that list first, then expand into the cold streets. That's found money, for 0 ad spent. Here's where RoofPredict fits, and where it stops. It pairs an estimated roof age range with storm physics modeled per individual home, then scores which roofs a real storm most plausibly wore out, instead of flagging everything the storm passed over. Point it at your old book and it tells you which past contacts are both in the footprint and old enough to be due. It does not inspect, diagnose damage, or decide coverage. Roof age is a range for planning, not an exact date. It ranks the doors, it doesn't knock them for you. Now the line, and it is not subtle. A roofer inspects, documents, measures, and writes an estimate, and never negotiates, adjusts, or settles the insurance claim. Do you handle the claim for the homeowner? No, never, because then you'd be an unlicensed public adjuster. The insurer decides coverage, and the homeowner owns the claim. In 2024, the Texas Supreme Court, in the Stonewater roofing case, upheld public adjuster licensing against a roofer who advertised itself as settling claims. So holding out as a claims specialist can need a license you don't have. And never say to a homeowner, we'll waive your deductible, because waiving a deductible is illegal fraud. Document, don't diagnose. So the door script gets discipline. Say this: we're scheduling free inspections in this neighborhood after the storm, and if you'd like, we'll document what we see and take photos you can keep. If they ask, is my roof damaged? You say, I can't tell that from the street or a weather report. That's what the inspection is for. Own insurance, whether it's a covered claim, is your insurer's call, not mine. Never say the storm proves the roof is damaged. Never say insurance will pay, the insurer decides that. And never offer to run the claim, because that's the public adjuster line you don't cross. Then assign it, because a route nobody owns is a route nobody works. Every zone gets a named rep, a status, and a next step with a date. The board should show whether a home came from a warning, a report, your old book, or an inbound call. Arm a green representative with one honest per home line, drawn from the route data and nothing else. This roof's estimated age is late teens. The storm crossed this street, offer a free inspection, do not state damage. That's enough to sound like the most prepared contractor on the block. Mind the clock, because timing is part of the route. During the warning, office work only, classify and map. First hours after, the roads and roofs may still be unsafe, so finalize geography and clear safety and compliance. Day 1 to 2, work the warm in footprint list, no cold knock required. Day 2, through about a week, the prime window for cold streets, older roofs in the heavy swath with the approved script. Week 2 onward, the out-of-town crews thin out, and your follow-up board pulls you ahead while the chasers knock blind. Close the loop. A storm alert is the start of a decision, not a door route. Read the source for what it is, 3 tiers, not 1. Overlay the swath on the streets you serve, and clear safety and the local rule before anyone moves. Then rank by the 2 things that actually predict a job, an old roof and a warm relationship, and skip the new roofs on purpose. Keep the script in the documentation lane, the insurer decides coverage, and the homeowner owns the claim. The chaser knocks the whole street, you knock the rank list,